My goodness, I actually cannot believe the difference in these two videos.
So here we are again. What you'll eventually learn is that we're all the same. We all make the same errors, the same mistakes, can't access the same body shapes over and over and over again, which is really cool because we have less and less to think about as we go along. So, no posterior tilt. Anterior tilt brings you off axis. Everything slips forward. Can you see that bump? So, quite quick, so I'm struggling to find a point to pause you, so I'm just going to go on the slider there. So again, we saw this with Heather. I saw it with Usha's client a minute ago. It's this forward projection of that through this low lumbar area, exactly where it hurts you when you do your flexion. But watch the direction of your knees in extension. As you extend that left knee, watch the direction. Back and out. Bend and out. So that is, you've got a pronating leg, pronated foot still there, and a knee traveling that way tells us one thing: hip internal rotation. Look at the other leg, it does exactly the same. Popping out and back. So we've got two internally rotated femurs.
Now if I try and, I'm trying to externally rotate my femur on this back leg. Oh, that's interesting. I have this bit of cramp here through the back of my hamstring. Whoops. Real weird, like on my left side where it's ceramic is doing this. I can hear it, I think, is my hip this side. Oh, like it's working.
Externally rotate that and it will pull your lateral flexion a little bit more, which will give you a little bit more shift, which will give you even more. Yeah? You have felt tissue load in the outside of the hip, now the inside of the hip, the front of the hip and the back of the hip, and that has got to be a joy in terms of a hip replacement. They're being taught about moving or rebuilding life around a hip replacement. The problem is that whatever caused the hip replacement remains in the person. Just because they put a new hip in there, it hasn't overridden any behavioural habits or any adaptations to change or compensations to previous injuries that may have led to the hip replacement being necessary. So the work you're doing now is work that is working on the problem and changing the behavioural habits, changing the movement patterns, changing your unconscious access to movement, that despite the hip replacement. So I believe that you're working on an older version, a pre-hip replacement problem that you're now overcoming properly.
Definitely feels looser on this side. My goodness, I actually cannot believe the difference in these two videos. You'd almost think that they had been doctored. You know, if somebody was doing like some sort of social media thing. So that I was walking particularly badly at the gym, putting that on, if you like. I'm sort of blown away, to be honest. I'm so super grateful